It was Manchester United against Arsenal last night, and Manchester United won 2-0 in the pre-season game in the US. What a game it was. I have learnt from past years that you have to take pre-season with a huge pinch of salt. United always look good in pre-season. However, we have to wait for the actual season to kick off to actually start hyping up the team. However, saying that, it's lovely to see the players and the style of play and the dynamics in pre-season games, giving us a glimpse of what the manager is doing with the team. Bruno as captain kicked off the game with a goal. It was great build-up. He ran with the ball and then let off a customary Bruno shot that looks weak and looks like it will not even reach the goal. And then you see it in the back of the net. If you know, you know. Ramsdale for Arsenal should have done better. I think he's got lots of question marks over his head whether he can carry on as an Arsenal number one goalkeeper, or whether Arsenal should be doing the same as Man United and going out and getting a new goalkeeper, someone who could improve them, because Ramsdale should have done better and stopped Bruno's shot. The second goal, however, Ramsdale couldn't have done anything about it no matter what he did. Sancho was the player who added the second with a burst of pace, getting onto the ball behind the Arsenal defence. He had an option to pass the ball across the goal to Garnacho, which didn't really look on, so he took a powerful shot that went like a rocket up into the goal. It was an impressive goal, and those people doubting Sancho and his ability to be a Man United player and carry on in the team and whether he should be sold, wow, I think they probably sat back and realised that this boy has still got a lot of talent and a lot to offer to Manchester United, and we shouldn't really be looking to sell him. We need to give him at least another year or two to prove himself. It's unfair to have someone come in a failing team and expect him to turn the entire team around, and that's what we've been asking from Sancho before Ten Hag arrived. I also can't help feeling his off-the-pitch struggles have not helped Sancho on the pitch, because we all know that Sancho is a very talented player. I want all Man United fans to go back when we were trying to sign him from Borussia Dortmund. We would have given anything to have Sancho at the club at that time. We just need to give Sancho a little bit of more time and a little bit of love, and I think he could be a big player for us in the future, and he could play a huge role. We'd be really interested to hear what you think of Sancho. Should we keep him or should we be looking to sell? Also, did you catch the game last night? What did you think of the game? Did you think Man United's performance was really good? Were you expecting that? What do you think about Arsenal's performance? I must admit, I was expecting a lot more from Arsenal with Declan Rice, Havertz and Timber, all new signings. But personally, I always think pre-season's really deceptive. It's mostly a show of who's fit and who's not, and whether players are used to their systems. And if you've got lots of new signings, it's clear that they're not going to be used to the systems that they're playing, or they might be playing a new system, and therefore players are not gelling pre-season. It takes them time to get used to everything, and probably that's what's happened with Arsenal. So let's not get carried away here, people, and think, wow, we are so much better than Arsenal. We thrashed them, we had an easy game, and we're going to do that in the season coming. It's not the case. Lots of things change, and we've all seen that. Pre-season and actual season are completely two different things. What we can say is that Ten Hag took the game really seriously. At half-time, you could see him going up to the referee and having a go at him. In fact, it took Bruno Fernandes to come over and drag him away. It was fantastic to see. I mean, the passion that Ten Hag shows in a friendly, I think it's infectious. I think the rest of the players then playing for Manchester United know that it's a serious game. Every game is serious. They have to give it all. I just love that. I love that about the manager, because he is the one who's showing the players how important everything is. And then it's infectious because the players then know that, look, the manager isn't just all talk. We have to perform at every level, every game we have to perform. And if we don't, the manager's going to be on our backs. Very similar to Alex Ferguson. I keep saying this. Ten Hag reminds me of Alex Ferguson, just the way he is in demeanour, how serious he is, how he's even dealing with the press. It's very similar to how Alex Ferguson used to do it. Fantastic. Also, another player that started for Man United in the friendly against Arsenal was Kobbie Mainoo. Now, we mentioned this kid literally a couple of shows ago, how he could be breaking into the senior squad this season, and boom, he's already playing pre-season against Arsenal for Manchester United. I wasn't expecting that, but that was fantastic, and it just shows you that our sources are on point. And what a game this kid Maino had. He looks very good. He looks like a huge player going forward. I think we've got a future superstar on our hands. I don't like saying that often, and I don't like putting the pressure on young players, but this kid looks like he's got it all. He's got very good pace. He's just sensible on the ball. He's got great tackling. He's got power, he's strong, he's got speed. Brilliant player. I think I can see United using him a lot more this season. But again, I think Ten Hag is slowly integrating him into the team and will do so throughout the season. And he's got the likes of Casemiro to learn from and watch, which can always help. His stats in the game were very impressive. Onana didn't feature. Probably his head is still in Milan, that's why. Since the transfer happened, everything's moved really fast for him. He's had to fly over to get his medical done and then straight to the US, and it was sensible to give him more time to settle down, and he's probably jet lagged. His transfer took a lot of time, but since then everything has moved really fast. Talking about transfers, let's talk about the transfer news. Let's kick off with Rasmus Hojlund. We've not heard anything from either club about what's going on in terms of negotiations. My sources have said that negotiations are ongoing between the clubs, but United are yet to agree a fee with Atalanta. This was always going to be the biggest hurdle. Atalanta want a serious amount of money up front for Hojlund, whereas United want an add-on plan in place. United want to pay a substantial amount of fees as add-ons, which is sensible. If Atalanta feel Hojlund is going to smash it, then they should be happy to agree the add-on. Atalanta get paid the extra add-ons if Hojlund goes ahead and scores a certain amount of goals in the season. United reach their objectives as a team, whether it's Champions League, qualifying for Champions League and going in forward, whether Hojlund makes it big and becomes a Ballon d'Or winner. These kind of add-ons we first saw in the Martial deal. And I think it's very sensible with a player who's got lots of potential to have these add-ons for both teams. However, it also means that United don't have to pay a lot of money up front right now just because there's a lot of hype around Hojlund. Let's see if Atalanta agree to something. I'm hoping that they do. PSG are also wanting to sign Hojlund. That's what we're hearing, but they've got lots of problems right now with the whole Mbappe saga and Mbappe refusing to leave, whereas they've put him up for sale. The situation with Mbappe is that he doesn't have to leave, and this is what many people are getting confused with. Just because PSG have put him up for sale does not mean that Mbappe has to leave. Mbappe will just simply sit it out this season, just not care, just sit on the bench and watch PSG play. It's a tense situation for all parties to be in, but Mbappe looks like he's just going to sit on the bench this season and just wait it out until next season and go on a free transfer to Real Madrid. He's set on Real Madrid. Any talk of him coming to any other club is just redundant. It will not happen. He's set on joining Real Madrid. Even the Saudi clubs, even they can't tempt him, I believe, even if they come out and give a huge amount of money to him, something that's never been seen in the history of football. I still feel that Mbappe will go to Real Madrid. But I called it last week. I said that Hojlund will be joining Manchester United, and I still stick by that. I still think that Hojlund will be coming to United by the end of July. I don't think it's going to happen this week, but I do think by near the end of July, Hojlund will be a Man United player. Let's wait and see. Hojlund, however, has been liking posts on social media, on Instagram. Hojlund really wants to come. We all know that. It's just a matter of time. Getting him here would be great. We are missing that key striker. There is no news on Amrabat. The situation remains fluid. It remains as it was. We have got Amrabat there, and if we can get the Hojlund deal done as quick as possible, I think United will move for Amrabat. There are lots and lots of sources reporting on the same news that Amrabat does want to come to United. Man United have been in talks with him. They haven't approached the club with a formal offer, but that, as we know already, happens at a later stage now. Once United are fully confident that they're going to get their man, they will make a formal offer. Before they even make a formal offer, the first thing they will do is probably reach out to Fiorentina and discuss a fee for Amrabat. So we'll probably hear of that if it happens. Overall, what's going on across the transfer window? Well, apart from the Saudis, everyone else has been fairly slow. There's still negotiations with Caicedo going on for Chelsea. Arsenal look like they've done all their business and are not going to be spending any more money this summer. Liverpool have been fairly quiet. They are still in talks with Lavea, the centre mid from Southampton, but no more signings. There were also rumours that Liverpool were looking to hijack the whole Amrabat situation with Manchester United. However, everything's calmed down on that front as well. it seems like nothing is happening. But then we'll just keep an eye on Liverpool because we don't know what they might pull out of the bag near the end of the transfer window. Newcastle seem to be pretty quiet as well. They've got a few outgoings. I think they're waiting on Saint Maximum to be sold to a Saudi club, which brings us to the Saudis. I mean, what have they been doing this transfer window? It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Saint Maximum, who you'd argue is in the form of his life, going over to Saudi. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mahrez is also now leaving Man City, going over to Saudi. Henderson. There's lots of players that are all joining Cristiano Ronaldo in the Saudi league. What a league. I mean, look, it's going to be interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people will want to watch the Saudi league with all these players now in there. And maybe that's the objective. The objective is to get more TV revenue, more people interested in the league. And certainly that will be the case next season coming. Are the Saudis going to continue buying these kind of players in the next transfer windows and the next transfer window? Because they'll have to in order to keep the whole game going. Turning our attention back to Manchester United, we can look at the outgoings now that are happening at Manchester United. Anthony Elanga has been sold to Nottingham Forest. Alex Telles has gone over to Saudi, and we are hearing that soon Fred will be leaving as well. So we are getting some outgoings. We've heard that Maguire might be staying at Manchester United and fighting for his place as a centre-back, or at least one of the centre-backs as a backup at least. Ten Hag is keen on having 4 centre-backs, he's told the press, and I can see Maguire fighting for his place and not wanting to leave. Let us know your comments below of who you think should be leaving Manchester United in this transfer window and who shouldn't be. Who should we be looking to sign? If the Hojlund deal does go through, is that enough? Is that enough for signings, or do we need to be out active and carry on looking for more players? Have we maxed out our transfer budget? Are we now no longer able to sign any other player? Is that why Amrabat hasn't been signed? Let me know your comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a beat on any breaking Manchester United news. You are watching the Man United Stream, a channel by the fans for the fans.